Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the first American Justice Summit. We're all propelled here today by outrage and faith. Outrage at the cruelties committed in our name, at the damage to our society when punishment itself becomes a species of crime, and faith. Faith in America, faith in this country's long, unfinished struggle to live up to its ideals, and faith in the power of human decency and citizenly action. We have evidence of that faith today in this extraordinary assemblage of stage performers and in the audience. Lawyers, doctors, therapists, corrections professionals, advocates, writers, activists, and all of you who cared enough to come this afternoon. I'm very honored to be joined by our partners and co-hosts. Jeremy Travis, the president of John Jay College of Criminal Justice, Neil Barsky, filmmaker and founder of the Marshall Project, Piper Kerman, activist and author of Orange is the New Black, Brian Stevenson, executive director of the Equal Justice Initiative, Pamela Thomas Graham, head of private banking and new markets for Credit Suisse, Jeffrey Toobin, staff writer at The New Yorker and legal analyst at CNN, and Darren Walker, president of the Ford Foundation. And let's not forget the great Harry Belafonte, who's only not here himself today because he's gone to Ferguson last night to see if he can try to quell some of the racial tension in anticipation of the grand jury's decision. As you've just seen, America's prisons now hold 2.3 million people, more incarcerated people than China, more than Russia, more than any other country in the world. It's as if we have criminalized poverty, criminalized mental illness, criminalized being young, and criminalized being black. Mass incarceration is now the ugliest face of America's social and economic divide. I recently visited Graterford, which is a maximum security state prison in Pennsylvania, 30 miles from Philadelphia. And really, I've led a pretty sheltered life in many ways. And what I saw and heard there really shocked me quite profoundly. I met lifers who had been in cells 6 by 13 feet for longer than 40 years. But in that sobering place, I also found selfless, dedicated people who are trying valiantly to bring hope through education and medical help and psychological support. And many such people are going to be here with us this afternoon. They know that there's a better way if only the political will can be summoned. What's exciting is that a bipartisan energy for criminal justice reform does seem to be on the rise, as is clear from the increasing influence of the Right on Crime movement, and how just last week California voted for sentencing reform with Proposition 47. And then we saw just the other day the incredible $50 million grant from George Soros' Open Society Foundations to make criminal justice reform a national, state, and local election issue. We certainly see commitment from our supporters and partners for this evening. First, I must thank Credit Suisse. Frankly, the fact that a Tony Swiss bank is supporting a summit on criminal justice reform has a lot to do with the personal commitment of Pamela Thomas Graham, my co-host. Thank you so much, Pamela. And thank you also to the Ford Foundation, whose commitment to social progress is enhanced by the inspired leadership of Darren Walker. And thank you also to the bastion of legal and scholarly integrity, John Jay College, where we are this afternoon, and to Just Leadership USA for their extraordinary work on these issues. Thank you also to the summit's supporting media partner, Investigation Discovery Channel, and our media partners, Vice News and the Marshall Project, the brilliant new journalistic brainchild of Neil Barsky and Bill Keller. Please let your friends know that they can watch a live stream of today's event on vicenews.com. If you're tweeting, which I hope you will, please use the hashtag AmericanJustice. Also, please know that you're going to find a lot of websites of organizations that you'll hear about today in your program's outreach page, and you can do what you will if you like to support them. And finally, we plan to take advantage of the great brain trust that we've assembled in a concrete way. Daniel Stageman, Director of Research Operations here at John Jay, and several of his colleagues have agreed to produce a white paper later that will sift and synthesize the ideas and proposals that emerge from the stage. We want today's discussions to have tangible results. Let's hope today's first American Justice Summit brings us to a political and social tipping point, or further along. Let's send a message to our wretched, feuding Congress that the very character of our nation is at stake, and this must happen. So, welcome everybody, and let's get to work.